Hi, this is Jonathan with Fishing with Faith Outdoors. I want to talk about a reel that everybody has and is used in bass fishing. Your Zebco 33. Alright, I know a lot of people say, well, I've caught bass with Zebco 33s, and you can catch bass with Zebco 33s. Very true. But I want to tell you some of the pros and cons of this reel. Okay, pros of this reel is it's very kid friendly. Any child can pick one of these up and just about fish and catch fish with it. Alright, very easy to use, very simple. A right-handed person, the reel of course is going to go on the right hand side of this. Left-handed person, you can change it to go on this side. Okay, or vice versa. If you want to be right-handed, cast with the left side, that's fine. Or left-handed or I should say reel, or reel with the right-handed side. You get the idea. So Zebco 33, very common. Most of them you'll be used with a cork, sinker, and some kind of jig or hook for brim and crappie and that kind of thing, and catfish. Most line, heaviest line I'll put on it is, sorry about that, I'm getting equipment to be able to do this, so apologize about that. I'm in the boat, so it's kind of shaky. Anyway, the heaviest line I'll put on there is 12-pound monofilament on these reels, simply because you're not fishing these around a lot of cover, heavy cover, and it mainly, like I said, you're either going to put a cork or some kind of jig or a hook on there. And so this is 12-pound trilene by Berkley. This stuff is very inexpensive at Walmart, and the 12-pound is like 14-pound. Okay, it's really good stuff. Monofilament. All right, so that's all the pros I got for it. Really, it's just a simple reel. Everybody's got one. All right, drag system. Okay, and everybody knows how to set a drag. You set the drag to allow the fish to be able to pull some drag so you won't break your line. All right. What I say, cons or pros? Anyway, all right, let's talk. Sorry, if that was the good stuff, that would have been the pros. Okay, let's talk about the cons. Bass fishing with this, yes, you can do it. Throw the lure out there, let it sink on the sink on the fall, and you get bit. Okay, wacky rigs, wacky rigs. You can Texas rig with these right here. Any kind of baits, creature baits. I ain't got no hooks with me at the moment, but anyway. Wacky rig. Never mind the hook. I ain't bring no hooks with me, but anyway, wacky rig. Your Texas rig. You know how to do a Texas rig. Most people do. Anyway, with that being said, like I said, the cons of this. The deal with this is, if you use this for bass fishing, you let it go on the fall. Not a problem. Hit it on the fall and let it sit there and kind of twitch it or whatever. But the thing is, when you go to drag this rod, and you're dragging your lure on the bottom of the lake, pond, or whatever you fish, and creek, and you're dragging it, and when you reel the slack up, it's spinning the line like this. Okay, and what that does is it's turning your bait. It's making your bait spin when you go to pull it, and that line unravels or untwists. It spins the bait as it's going across the bottom as you're reeling it up, and it twists the line up, so it makes it spin. Okay, you don't want that, and that's the only downfall with these kind of reels. It twists the line, like I said, and it makes the bait look unnatural. When a bait caster pulls it in straight and it drags it straight. All right, we'll do bait casters in a little while, in the next couple videos, and it's straight, so it's hopping it like that. So with this, And that line's on right when you turn this, and it's twisting that line, bringing it back in, the slack. It's twisting it up down here, the hook, and it'll make it spin. All right, when it comes up in the water column, off the bottom, it's going to try to twist. And it makes it look unnatural, and it turns off the bites. You'll get more bites with a natural looking bait on the bottom of the lake or the pond using a bait caster than one of these. This is great for bass fishing, yes, for skipping lures or using falling baits and let them sit, reel them back up, cast them back in there. You try to drag it or retrieve it in slowly, or crank baits or spinning baits, it twists the line up on those, and it causes problems. You notice wind knots and stuff like that. That's what the issue with that is, to twist these lines. Like I said, 12 pound at the most I will put on these. Okay, go down to like 6 pound. You know, and you don't want to fish your pound here to the fish you're fishing. You know, people, oh, I'm gonna catch a 12 pound bass, I need to get some 12 pound tests. No, that ain't how that works. You can catch a 20 pound bass on 8 pound line if you allow your drag to work like it's supposed to, and you're not casting around a bunch of heavy cover. So that's the deal. If you're casting around a bunch of heavy cover, sticks, rocks, laydowns, you want a heavy pound line to be able to take the abuse of running across that kind of stuff. You know, the line going across rocks and stuff, it'll cut into the line. So the thicker the line, the less likely it is to break off running across a stick or a rock. So that's why you run heavier pound line around cover. Okay, so like I said, on these, I wouldn't go no more than 12 pound. Anything heavier, it ain't gonna work right, unless you got a bigger reel. You know, something like I think it's like a 707 or something. I got one in the house, but it's a bigger reel for catfishing. You can put 20 pound on it and get away with it. But these smaller ones, these 33s, 12 pound at the heaviest, smaller filament. Okay, then you can give it. I would technically just go to a 6 pound and just cast that. And like I said, if I'm going around any heavy cover, I'll go heavier. All right, so hopefully I covered that. You can understand the issue. Now, the only way to get away from having that twisting line, if you want a Texas rig and drag it on the bottom, or a jig or something, if you don't want to use nothing else but one of these, this is how you fix that. I don't have one in the boat. I started to bring one. Is a barrel swivel. Okay, matter of fact, there's one right there. All right, that. You put a barrel swivel. You can use this clip if you want to, but I recommend not using the clip. All right, on the Texas rig, I would just go tie, you know, my main line to this barrel swivel, then tie maybe like 6 inches to this. That way, because you got, you know, so much hanging down from the end of your rod here. You don't want that barrel swivel to go up in these guys. It ain't gonna cast. I done tried. It doesn't work good. So maybe like a 6-inch leader or 8-inch leader, okay, from the barrel swivel to your hook. Then tie that to your hook. Make sure it's long enough so that weight can move and do what it's supposed to do. You know, a bullet weight on your Texas rig. And you can get away with that. And what it does, that barrel swivel will allow this line not to turn, not to twist up and turn your bait. That bait, it'll spin out here and the bait will stay fine. Okay, they do it on Carolina rigs. All right, if you don't know what a Carolina rig is, we'll get into that later. But they use barrel swivels on the Carolina rig just for that reason. All right, so that's the deal. Yes, you can catch bass on this. Preferably not a choice, but it can be done with a barrel swivel, okay? And if you're not using a barrel swivel, I would just stick to the Texas, not Texas, but the wacky rig, throwing it out around cover, letting this fall, do its little thing, and hit the bottom, let it sit there, shake it a little bit, no bites, pull it out, start over, because 9 out of 10 times, they're gonna hit this on the fall, because this is shimmying, all right? And then like finesse baits, like you can do a Ned rig or something like that, just let it hit and kind of drag it, but same deal, might want to put a barrel swivel on it to keep it from causing the line to twist up at the hook and maybe making it look funny in the water. So, all right, well, that's the video on the Zebco 33. Like it says, panfish rod mainly, and if you do want to use this strictly for bass, I highly recommend a barrel swivel. All right, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all at the next one.